Hello, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to present a project here at World Architecture Festival. I'm Yui Tezuka. I work with my partner, Takaharu Tezuka. He always wear in blue, and I always wear in red. So my iPhone is red, and my socks are red. And I'm going to explain about the Muku Nursery School. Yeah, this nursery school is, consists of 12 circular umbrellas. And the site is located at the foot of Mount Fuji in an industry park. This nursery school is planned as a daycare center for the factory next to it. Factory called Hikari Corporation. Actually, the president is here today. And this factory is making catered lunch boxes. And the president of this factory wanted to do real education to children through food. And 12 circular umbrellas stand side by side. So children can circle around each umbrella endlessly without getting bored. I'll explain why we designed this nursery school. You may have seen this kindergarten before. This is the kindergarten where the children can keep circling on the roof. And the president of the factory liked this kindergarten and asked us to design her nursery school. Yeah, and the reason why we designed this donut-shaped kindergarten is that we knew that the children love to make circle. These are our children when they were small. They are circling around the statues. It's a kind of instinctive movement for the children. And the round shape of the Muku Nursery School came from the image of the lid in the soup bowl accompanying the lunch boxes. And this is a model we made for the first presentation. Yeah, at the time we made the roof with tracing paper. This is the image of the Japanese traditional umbrella with oil paper. And this is a plan. Actually, we can say that this is a bubble plan rather than the circle plan because the image is like a bubble rising up in air, keeping optimum distance each other. And each bubble has a single function, so there is no wall inside. And it is supported by the furniture and low partitions. And there are always criticisms about circular planning. How can I say? It is sometimes difficult to arrange furniture, and also the structure is difficult. But we found that there are significant advantages on circular planning. First of all, the positioning of each function is completely free from geometrical restriction. So when you analyze the function, and when you made a diagram, each bubble, each room is located as it is in the diagram, and also each of the size of the room is can be adjusted freely. The secondary, the visibility is it's extremely good. The visibility is the most important requirement in kindergarten and nursery school. So because it is round, you can have 360 degree visibility. And through the gap, you can see the gap between the bubbles brings you the glimpse from one end to another. And thirdly, the round shape provokes the instinctive circular movement of children. And this is a section you will see the eaves are very low and deep. So it is a little bit difficult for the big room to get enough light. So we made a roof. We made a eave with glass and louvers for the bigger room, and we made a high side light for the biggest room. That's praying room, and it brings light and wind in. And this is a model for the structure. The structure is very rational. Cantilevered beams are collected and combined at the center. And so quite many beams are collected, concentrated in the suspended bundle at the center. So the construction was a little bit difficult. And this is how it is built. You can see this. Actually, we made this roof with silver galvanium. Model was made with tracing paper, so we thought the tent would be nice, but the tent has an insulation problem, so we decided to use the galvanium for the roof. Actually, the owner, the president, was suspicious about this material, so she was worried it maybe looked like a kind of tent and a kind of tank in this factory. But once it was built, I can say it quite suit in this kind of environment. And this is how it is built. So children can running around each bubbles, each rooms. Yeah, and the water dish is in the center. And this is the entrance. You can see the 360-degree view, and you can see far away from the gap, through the gap between the rooms. And you can walk every room through the through the small corridor under the eave. You can see how the light get in. And the gap between the rooms, bubbles, becomes playground for small children. And yeah, this is inside, interior, so you can see how the structure looking like. And children running around in the room too. And this is the office. So from the office, you can see everything in this nursery school. It's like a kind of a bridge of a ship. Okay. This is louvers. There is only one circle children can cross. That is the dish of the water. So yeah, there is no step around the water, so it's gently sloping down to the center. And the deepest point is only 30 centimeters. Yeah, this is showing how they play in the water. And in the winter, we drain the water, and it can be it's become a kind of sloping playground. Yeah, this is the view after dark. Thank you very much.
Okay. Many jealous parents now in the audience, I presume. Well, amazing. Can you? This is your client was a factory. Is that? Am I correct? So is this like are you obliged to do that in Japan, or is it a spontaneous idea of the factory owner? Why did the company make this?
Nursery school?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not obliged, but how can I say, there is a kind of 補助金なんて言うんだろう。The money from the government, the money is supported from the government. So the government support the kind of factory or company who is going to run the nursery school, yeah, in their company. So.
Wow. amazing. So what made you decide the previous time you made one building,
Yeah.
one circle,
Yeah.
and now a lot?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, or what's the difference?
This time, the first, Fuji kindergarten is a kindergarten, so the children age is 3 to 5. And this nursery school, it's designed to children age 0 to 5, but for now, they have only children 0 to 2. So the smaller children going to use this. So we made the circular a little bit smaller.
Smaller action radius.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, we built, 2 classrooms for now, but so we can accept only children 0 to 2 now, but they're going to build more room for the bigger children later.
Okay, it's expandable. Yes, Leslie.
I have a question. If you took the floor plan of this, it would be very similar to many traditional African villages, for example, where the relations between social spaces is almost as important as the form itself. And I wonder, is there any tradition in Japan of this type of planning?
You mean the kind of village type planning?
Yeah, the relationship between spaces, so slightly smaller spaces in relation to bigger ones, and the kind of physical layout of it. Do you have a tradition of building like this?
Traditionally, in Japan, we make the building itself is quite has close relationship with outside. So it's not, we don't make bigger and space. We make a smaller space in tradition with wood structure. That is traditional way of Japanese architecture.
Okay, I think the project is very playful design, but my question is this pavilion type of design, which is easy to control in terms of individual space and structure, but what about in winter? Because the insulation for this kind of a shape is very difficult and also not very efficient. And do you move from one space to another space in outdoor space, or they're all connected?
Yeah, connected through the app, so outside space.
It's outside, right?
Outside,
you have to
yeah,
put
it's
up
outside.
your coats and enter the...
Yeah, but this is in Shizuoka, so
It's cold, right?
It's not so cold
Okay.
as here. Yeah, in Japan we have tradition to move to walk outside to go to toilet, yeah, some kind of things. So and I think that is quite good for children. Yeah, now, yeah, because yeah, it's not necessary to be outside. Toilet is not necessary to be outside. Actually, in the classroom we have small toilets. Yeah, but the children is much stronger than we thought. So, and
It's a training process.
Yep. Yeah, President of Fuji Kindergarten said quite interesting comment because he was asked when it rains, how children is going to do. And what he said was that you know that if they're going to wet, they just change the clothes. Yeah, because the children are waterproof. Yeah. So, yeah. So I think children are strong enough to survive in that in this environment.
I like your Fuji garden. Fuji kindergarten.
Thank you.
Great. Frederick, do you want to add something, or? Yeah.
Well, yes. I think it's a pretty compound, and I think it's very adequate for the purpose of the building. However, I've always been, perhaps it's a prejudice which is my own fault, I've always been rather worried about the use of circular forms repeatedly for schools. Because I think that the furniture and everything that goes in them has to put up with sinuous shapes which sometimes do not accommodate the use of the rooms. Am I right or not?
I think this is a nursery school.
Yes.
So they don't sit on the table so much. So I can say they just running around and play around. So sometimes they sit and eat or something, but it's not a big problem
Okay.
for now. Yeah.
I learned something.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.